Hello, everybody. How are you? Thank you for being here. So excited to have you on my 10x agent support call. This is a call for all real estate agents who want to be supported in the industry, either with mindset or want to know how to build their business or want to know how to get follow up or want to know how to pivot in the upcoming market. This is the call for you. Today, I'm going to end this year on a mindset call. So I want to talk about ending the year strong and starting even stronger. So give me 1 second. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. We're on a new streaming platform right now. StreamYard here, and I'm not seeing anyone else. Let me just make sure that I'm on, can be heard. Since I don't see anybody's, hey, am I on? Okay, so how come I can't see anybody? Okay, I don't see that. Okay, yeah, comments. Okay, I see it. All right, yes, I can see everybody. Thanks, Danny. Okay, bye. So this is a call for all agents. I already said that. Okay, so let's just jump in, okay? So end of year, we just had Christmas, we just had Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. It's can be such an incredible holiday as it is probably for most, but also it is also a very sad and devastating time for lots of millions of people out there who lost jobs, loved ones, look back, aren't happy with where they are, feel trapped, stuck. It can be a very depressing time of year. I understand that. I've been there myself. I have those similar feelings from time to time. I don't want you stuck there. I don't want you staying there. I want to get you out of that and re-hooked up with your purpose, recommitting to yourself, looking into the future, starting the year strong. Like, how do you really start the year strong? Get outside of yourself. This is what Grant and I look at the end of every year. And I'm just going to write and tell y'all about 8 tips, maybe 9 tips. I wrote down some strategies that Grant and I do at the end of every year that help us. And I'm going to pass that along with you. So first of all, I want to explain something to you, okay? Life is a game. And sometimes we forget that life is a game because it becomes not fun, because you're so mired into life that you forget that it's a game. Your job is a game. Your relationships are a game. Life is a game. So I want to reconnect you with, what does that mean that life is a game? How do you find the fun in life? How do you enjoy life? You got to understand what are the principles and the key component parts of a game. So there's 3 things. This isn't from me, by the way. This is from one of my mentors, L. Ron Hubbard, in a book called The Problems of Work. I've read this book numerous times, rereading it again. I get reconnected. I repeat successful actions for myself, getting connected back up to things that have worked for me in the past, that help me apply things to my life in order to make me actually influence the trajectory of my life. So I'm rereading this book. I'm coming to terms with the end of the year, and I'm reconnecting with that life is a game. And there's 3 component parts of this game. Okay, you've got to have freedom, right? But you also have to have barriers, because if you didn't have barriers, there would be no necessity for freedom. So think about that. So if you could be aware and you could control every aspect of your life, even though for a split second you think, oh my God, that would sound amazing. Imagine if you could control and know everything. Like, you think, wow, that would be amazing, right? But no, it would be horrendous without barriers. Imagine if you went through life with just total freedom, total knowingness, total control over every single outcome, how completely miserable you would be in life. Like, Everything you touch, it would be like playing a game of chess or a game of football with yourself and you were on the two teams. Like if you played checkers with yourself, it's not fun. You know the outcome, you know what's the move, you know the position of the other opponent. Life would be miserable without barriers. So all the people out there that are looking at your barriers as like things that shouldn't be in your life and as these horrible, miserable things that you're conflicted with, I'm here to tell you that you actually need those in order to be able to overcome those, in order to have the freedoms which brings the game of life. So there's three things. I've only mentioned two. I've told you about the freedom, I've told you about barriers, and the third thing is the purposes. You have to have the purpose to play the game. What is the result? What is the reward? What are you doing it all for? There must be some sort of higher purpose in order to have this game of life. So how do you reconnect with your game of life? Recognize that you are in a game. And if you don't have the barriers, if you don't have problems big enough, you're going to invent problems. You're going to invent barriers. You're going to invent these things in your life to give yourself a game, because we don't know how to do anything but play games. That's the biggest mockery, right? So we're here playing games, pretending like we're not playing games. You get stuck in the games. You forget you were playing a game. Then you actually think life is a miserable thing. But if you backtrack and you step outside of yourself for a second and you look at your life as a game, then you can actually start to like manipulate the game and then go back into your life and play the game, but from a higher powered viewpoint. Am I making sense to everybody? If I am, give me a fire or a yes. If I'm confusing you and you're like, what the hell? Give me a broken heart sign. Okay. So the thing that I do at the end of the year is I connect up with my games, that life is a game, that I have to have barriers, right? So you have to have purposes, a purpose, a mission, right? Grant and I, the secret to our success is we have a purpose that's greater than just little me old Grant or little me old Elena. My life has become so much more bigger and powerful than just myself. Now I've included all these other women. I want to empower the women and change the world. And I have all these grandiose ideas and how I can do that, right? But what does it do? It gets me active in a game of life. We have purposes, right? Now I have barriers. I have challenges, right? Because there's people out there in the world who don't want to see women be empowered. Trust me. Okay. I can confront evil. All of you people out there thinking, no, that could never happen to women on this planet. Well, I'm being facetious and sarcastic, but yes, right? My people now, my barriers become those enemies, the enemies, right? The enemies of all the people who don't want to see women and families winning. I want families to win on this planet, right? Everything that I'm doing with Grant behind the scenes, the family dynamic and all the work that it takes to make it all come together and work and thrive, right? I want families on this planet to win, to succeed. I want to be the model to make other people go out and want to have families win on this planet, right? I promise you, there are people on this planet who want families to be in ruin, who want to see you divorced, who preach it. It's everywhere, right? So, but my point to all of this is I have barriers. I have enemies. I need those as much as I hate those and protest those. And my delicate little sense of self that's like, oh, I just want to be liked by everyone. Hey, you got to know your strengths and weaknesses. I talk about that all the time. I know that's my weakness, but I'm being vulnerable and I'm telling you my weaknesses. I like everybody to like me. But my point to all of this is no matter how much I want people to like me, I have to have those enemies that are against the family dynamic winning on the planet and the people against women empowerment and the people that hate on Grant and all of those. Why? because it helps me with my game of life. Because when I overcome those barriers and I have women winning and empowering their families, and families that I save from divorce that actually go into heightened levels of success, right? Now I have freedoms and happinesses, and I need that. And that keeps me excited and energized in life. If I didn't have that game of life that sometimes I can forget, and I'm like, I get trapped into, this person's coming at us with a lawsuit, and this person's accusing us of that, and this person's clickbaiting saying this and that, and this line, and I'm like, I just want it to end. I step outside of myself and I say, wait a minute, I need all of that. Thank you to all of those people that are doing that. You're giving me stuff to focus on, my barriers to focus on, because without you, guess what? And without my purposes and without my goals, guess what my little old game would be? My little old game would be, let me be normal and average and invent problems because I have no big problems. Now I'm going to go fight with my husband and my children and argue and invent problems. Why? Because I need my little barriers, because I'm playing games. What games do you want to play? The aware games or the unconscious, small, normal games that the rest of the world is playing? You get to decide. This is your life. This is your 2023. I know I'm speaking to realtors on this call, but really, this is mindset, getting everybody geared up to step outside of yourself, make some decisions with your life, go back into yourself and play the game of life. So we all got clear right now. We're playing a game of life, okay? You're in this game. So don't be hating on your barriers and the quote unquote failures and setbacks. Know that you need that. If you're not having that, you're not playing at a big enough level. So, and I don't mean fighting with your family members. Stop it. That's too small. Go fight with the global world powers to be. Go fight on big levels. You're bigger than that. Your potential's too big. Let your family members be your family members. Just let them be. Stop trying to change them. It's easier to change the world than it is to change your family members. Some of you just came from your family and you want to, for a really bad metaphor, shoot your brains out. Stop it. Stop playing that small game. Let them play their small games. You don't have to make them be on your mindset. Just let them be. Go out and go get real enemies. Fight with the real people, not your friends and your family. So I'm going to tell you what, let me see if I ordered these in a number of order. I have about 9 points. I wrote down about 9 points that I'm going to touch on today to kind of get y'all outside of yourselves and on and focused back into the future. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm thinking. When I take pauses like that, I'm thinking where I'm going next. Hold on with me. We're on a ride. We're on a journey now. Okay, so let me go over the 9 points or 10 points or whatever they end up being to start the new year off. Okay, so number one, it's the easiest thing to do. You don't need money. You don't need courage at this point. All I need you to do is make a decision to commit to greatness for 2023. That's number one. Make a decision to commit to greatness for 2023. Can you think enough of yourself to commit right now to your greatness and greatness in 2023? If you commit to your greatness for 2023, you've made that decision, give me a fire in the chat. Here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing too, okay? You commit today, you're all gung-ho, you're jazzed out, you're feeling good. Guess what? Tomorrow, whack, you get smacked in the face. Happens to all of us. You don't want to continue. You get knocked down. You get sucker punched. You're gutted. Something happens. It's bad. It's horrible. It's miserable. You feel like quitting. You feel like giving up. Guess what? You're not a failure because you failed on your commitment to greatness in 2023 when you're kicked in the face. Okay? You don't get to use that as an excuse. All you have to do is recommit. All you have to do when your face is down on the ground is recommit to greatness in 2023 and beyond. That's it. It's the simplest, most easiest thing to do. You don't have to look at how you failed 10 minutes ago, an hour ago, a week ago, a year ago. All you have to do is take right now. I don't care whatever's happening. Just recommit to greatness. Recommit. Commit to greatness in 2023. That's it. Simple. Stop complicating things. It's easy. Let me tell you two things, okay? Commit definition. One is a pledge or a bind. Binding a pledge. Pledge blinding. Got it? Two, dedicated to something. This is all I'm asking you to do, is to make a decision. This is one of your greatest powers. You have the power to decide and make decisions every single second of your day. You feel powerless, make a decision. You want to gain your strength back, your confidence back, make a decision. Don't need anything else. Make a decision. Boom, unstuck. I'm the boss of my life. Make a decision. Come back in, play the game. Commit. Number 3, it's a long-time emotional relationship with yourself. Okay? You're in a long-term emotional relationship with yourself. Okay? Get okay with being in a long-term emotional relationship with yourself. Okay? Emotional. You're gonna feel the highs. Is that the word? Sentinel beings. We feel things, okay? That is a beautiful asset. You can feel sadness. You can feel happy. You can feel depressed. You can feel enthusiastic. You can feel emotions. It's a beautiful thing to be able to feel. Imagine if you were numb and couldn't feel anything. That is also an emotional tone, by the way. But how horrible to not be able to feel. Don't be afraid to go to the highest of the highs, because if it got taken away, you'd feel the lowest of the lows. They're just feelings. It's just emotions. You can have them or not have them. It doesn't change who you are to your core. Be okay with being able to move up and down this emotional tone scale. Be okay with being in sadness from time to time. It's okay. It doesn't mean you are sad. You are not sad. You are you. You are you. That is not a label of who you are. That is you having an experience of a feeling. You can still function through sadness. You can still function through enthusiasm. You can still function despite your emotional ranges. Even when you don't want to do something resistant, you can still continue when you have your purpose and your reason for forging forward. So don't let this emotional relationship with yourself stop you. For the first second you get hit, beat up, torn down, feel sad, want to stop, all you do in that step is go back to number 1. Recommit to the commitment of greatness in 2023. What is greatness? Let's look at the definition of great, and then we shall carry forward. Melody says she's too emotional sometimes. So am I. Who cares? Let yourself be emotional. Continue to move forward. Continue to greatness, and continue with the rest of the steps that I'm going to give you here. Great. Great is of an extent, amount, or intensity considerably above the normal or average. Love that definition. This is what you're committed to, right? Commit, right? Greatness. Great is, again, of an extent, amount, or intensity considerably above normal or average. God, I love that. That's what you're committing to, greatness. Great number 2, very skilled or capable in a particular area. And I love this. The origin of great comes from Old English, big. Let's be big, okay? So that's number 2. Hold on. I'm on a live. Okay, let's talk about it after. I get done at 4. You want to say hi real quick?
Hi.
Great. Okay. Number 1, commit to greatness. Number 2, number 1, commit to make a decision to greatness. Number 2, did I get to number 2? Please tell me I've gone on to number 2. Have I gone on to number 2? Jeez, I got to wrap this thing up. Y'all are getting me on a roll today. I am jamming and talking. All right. Number 2, I want you to reflect on this past year and write down what were your most successful actions that you've taken. What are the things in this last year that were good that you were involved with? What were they? Write those down. If y'all want to put some in the chat, you can. This is an exercise to do home later on. But this is the number 2. Number 2 is I want you to reflect on the past year. And I want you to write down what were the successful things that you accomplished throughout the year. And then I want you to look at, in this part 2, right, of number 2, what were the successful actions that you took that got you there? What did you do? Okay. And then number 3, you're going to write down the successful actions, how you can do what you did and do more. How can you do more? So number 3 is you're going to repeat the successful actions for 2023. Yeah, somebody said you invested in a sales course. If that got you to more sales and a bigger year and profits, guess what you got to do? Go do and study the same people that helped you on that course. Okay? Oh, that's so great. Cardone Education, 1,000,000%. I know I'm biased here. But man, there's some good training there. Something that we're doing is working clearly. Okay, number 4. Now, I want you to look into the future and I want you to see everything that you want to have. You've got to do this for me, okay? By the way, on number 2, when you're reflecting back on your past year, I don't want any of your BS, all the stuff that you did that was a failure. You're ignoring the losses, okay? This is not that time. This is not this exercise, okay? Go do that with somebody else. On this exercise for number 2, you're only looking at the successful actions, the successful products, and what you did. I don't care about your losses, not at this particular time, okay? Now we're at number 4. Y'all are writing these in the chat for me? Y'all are writing them down? Okay. Number 4, you're looking into the future. It's prettier there anyway. Look into the future, the future, the future. I have to get you guys, especially the guys on my team, to start seeing the future, believing in the future, not this instant gratification. 2023 is not going to be about instant gratification. 2023 is going to be about seeing a long-term vision and taking the actions that you need to do to get there when others are going to quit and fail. 2023 is going to be a very hard and very difficult year for a lot of people. That is not going to be you because you're locking into the future. Your future is what you make it, what you created, and that is real. That is a very real deal. Okay. I used this analogy last week. If you are trying to lose weight or gain muscle and you want to get fit, there is a certain protocol that you need to follow, which is your diet, the gym. You got to get with the experts. Whatever you can't, what are you willing to sacrifice? All the sticky buns, whatever. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to get where you want to be? Real deal. Same exact thing that works with a physical body actually works with who you become and what you want to have in the future. No difference. It's not magic. It's not hoochie coochie woochie woochie widgie. From New Orleans, it's not voodoo. This is exactly what happens if you create your future, see what you want, reverse engineer. What are you willing to give up in order to get where you want to go? The sticky buns, if you're trying to get physically fit, what is it that you have to give up in order to have what your big designed life image looks like? You have to decide that. What are the things that you need to do now to become that future self that has more confidence, that has more money, that has better friends? I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, all of our friends don't have money and can't take trips with us. I was like, okay, get new friends. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What is it that you now have to do in order to have the life that you want to have? So number 4 is mock up your future, create it, and then reverse engineer the actions in order to have what you want to have in the future. So look in your future, see what you want to have, write down all of your visions. Don't worry about the mechanics, okay? Creativity follows commitment. Grant says that all the time. Creativity follows commitment, okay? You start losing sight, you start, going too big. That's code word for the derivation of great, which also goes back to number 1, you made a decision to commit to greatness. So that's big. So when you run into these traps of now looking into the future and you want something and it looks so big and you seem so far off from where you want to be, don't lower the target. Just trust the process and do the work in order to step into your future life and what you want. So number 5, after you've done all of that, now I want you to look at all of the barriers that could happen in the future to prevent you from having that life. An economic collapse, lawsuits, negativity. I don't know. Write them. You got to come up with your list of worst case scenarios for the future, because it's the people who plan, and you can work this now into your future actions that you need to take in order to prevent and scale and protect yourself, right? See, we never had lawyers. Grant and I never had lawyers. We never knew how to protect ourselves from lawsuits. Now, guess what? We have lawyers in-house, right? Like, we've had to prevent things from happening in the future. So from that future, do your worst case scenarios. Realtors, economic collapse, okay? What are you going to do to prepare? How are you going to pivot? Are you going to be in denial that this thing ain't happening? Because it is. We're in a new market. You're not in the same market you were in 6 months ago. If you want to pivot, how do you learn to adjust? Who do you need to be around? Stop listening to the news. Stop hearing the negativity, but don't be dumb. Don't be naive. Prepare for it. Now you got to go talk to the investor. Now you got to go find the investors, not the end user. See, every moment is an opportunity, right? As long as you're willing to see, have your purpose, and play the game. Okay. So instead of your open houses having, Bob and Jane argue about the color of the countertops, you got to have a different conversation now. Now you got to have the conversation of when I use this, Ivan, the investor comes in, you got to know how this spreadsheet's going to work for him and how he can produce the income when he rents it out to the people, because it's the investors that are going to buy in this market that are going to save this market. And if you were really smart realtors, you'd be convincing all your other realtors to now go in and buy all of these assets that we have the opportunity to buy and rent them out. So now that you can become investors and not just realtors and watch everybody else get rich. Now you have an opportunity. So what is it that you're going to do? Look into the future, look into the economic collapse, and how do you now gear the conversations to prepare for it and what you see in the future? Okay. So number 5 is you're doing your worst case scenarios and now how to prepare for it. I got to find my number 6. Here it is. Number 6. Okay. Whether this is happening or not, this is what I'm doing. I prepare for war. Number 6, new year. I'm committed to greatness. There are oppositions on this planet who do not want to see me, and probably you can call me a conspiracy theorist. They don't want to see you win. Our barriers, our enemies, they don't want that. Be willing to confront that evil exists on this planet. That's all I'm going to say. My quote, I say all the time, be tough enough to take a hit and strong enough to deliver a blow. So number 6 is I'm preparing to go to war this year. I'm preparing to go to war. Okay. What does war look like? War looks like being tough enough to suffer on cold nights or no food, metaphorically, right? It means being willing to undergo tough conditions, take a hit, get knocked down, be tough enough, strong enough to stand up, to fight back and deliver an effective blow. How do I get myself there? I got to go from the future into now. What are the steps I need to do to take care of myself? This is what you're going to write down. You're going to war. You are going to war. And if there's no war and you're prepared to go to war, how strong will you be if it's easy breezy living in flower fields? It's going to be fun. But I'll always prepare to go to war. I got to have my energy. I got to have my mental. I do my 10X health, my vitamins. Y'all write down what y'all got to do. I got to do courses. I got to read books. I got to read books like this, The Problems of Work, Fundamentals of Life. I got to get myself, I got to go read. I got to listen to certain people that I like and admire. I got to go study what the big companies, the billion, trillion-dollar companies are doing. All of what Grant's doing, I'm right behind him, looking at all of his links and research. I got to educate myself. I got to be strong. I got to be tough. I got to do my physical exercise, my strength. I got to speak to more people. You know what I'm saying? What do you need to do to prepare to go to war? I got to write down my goals. That helps me. That inspires me. I got to surround myself with other, crazies, whatever you want to call us. I got to surround myself with 10X people who believe, people who actually do what they say they're going to do, who are committed, who are accountable, who are results oriented, who don't just talk. I'll do whatever it takes. Yeah, right. And they're on the battlefield and one little, missile incoming comes in and they're gone because they ain't strong enough. I can't be around weak people. I can't do it because I'm not weak. And if I am weak, what am I going to do to toughen myself up? First is getting real and honest with myself, right? So surrounding myself with really strong warrior mindset people elevates us. That's what we're doing. Look, I'm not telling you anything that we aren't doing ourselves. Some people out there, oh, but I can't get rid of so-and-so. They've been my best friend since I was 5 years old. Meanwhile, they're like, the friend is like, why do you do so much and you work so hard? And when do you get to have fun and enjoy life and come have a drink with us? And we're going to have a barbecue. And while we're at the barbecue, we're going to complain about everything and how awful it is. And by the way, you got to bring your own beer because we can't afford to feed you and drink you any beer. Like, is that what you want? Is that what you want? Then go do it. But the people on this call are committed. You already committed in the beginning of this call. If you're still on this call, you committed. You made a decision. It was number one. You made a decision to great. And great is of an extent, amount, or intensity considerably above normal or average. I love my people. I love y'all. I need y'all. There's not enough of us out there, okay? Who's happy when they're not winning, when they're not producing? Not me. If you're winning, you're producing, you're happy, you're enjoying, you're playing the game of life. You got to win. There's going to be losses. We know that. Otherwise, what? If there was no losses, we wouldn't have a game. We already talked about that. There would just be freedoms, and then that would be miserable. So embrace your little losses. Yay, I got a loss. Yay. Now I can be really happy when I win. Otherwise, if you just win all the time, it's actually like a condemnation to hell. Like it would be miserable. Trust me. Not that I've ever experienced it because I'm here. I'm on planet Earth. And we're not designed to win down here. So it's never going to happen for anybody. But look, the closest you can get to that are these trust fund babies or the people that win the lottery and they get everything and now they don't know what to do with it all. And then they get miserable and commit suicide and end up broke. Like look at the little scenarios that you can kind of look at in the picture and the scheme of things of what I'm trying to talk about. All right. Self-enhancement, prepare for war. I'm doing tons of self-enhancement. I got to figure out how to get on the same page in a new unit at a time with Grant. How do I get on the same page with my team, with my kids, with my coworkers, with the employees, with our staff, with my EXP members? How do I in a new unit at a time? I was connected with them last year. Doesn't mean I'm going to be connected with them this year. I got to put in the work. I got to re-energize. I got to get people. I got to prepare for war. If I'm going to go to war, what do I want? I want people fighting alongside of me. You know, handing me a water or having my back for a second when I want to, you know, take a little rest. I need them fighting the battle. You need people. So how do you get everyone on the same page, working with the same mission while you're preparing for war? Okay, that's number 6. Number 7 is to take action. All right. What are the action items that you need to do? What is the studying, the reading, the listening to, the activities? What are the action items that you need to do? And number 8, put your future on a calendar. So you've written your successful actions by this point. You've looked at what you need to do in order to become who you want to become. You've decided you need to be around other 10X people who are going to hold you accountable and help rise you to a heightened level of success. Now I want you to get your 10X planner or whatever planner or organizer you do, and you need to put it in the plan. You need to pencil it out. I don't like white space on paper. I like my calendar full. It pulls me into the future. It holds me accountable. I got 10X GrowthCon I'm preparing for. I got 4 Build an Empire Masterminds coming up. I got 10X Ladies I'm preparing for. I've got GrowthCon. I've got all the other events mapped out on the calendar. I've got Brazil trip, speaking gigs on there. I've got my training, my courses that I need to take, my communication courses, all these things. I put them in the calendar because I see my future. It might not be overnight in order to get there, but I see it. I know it happens because I already did it. I'm living the life that I created 10 years ago. You guys have no idea what my next 10 years are going to look like, because now I know that the SHI to the T is real. I know that when you do this reverse engineering, living from the future and not the past, is real. So I'm not afraid to go big, great. I'm not afraid. So my future is so big. Now I have to get strong enough and tough enough to be able to be that person in the future, because it's that big. It's huge. I need to be strong enough to be able to speak to anyone in the world about anything without feeling, that I'm not worthy, or I'm not smart enough, or competent enough, or competent enough. I need to be able to, bring it. I need to be able to represent families. I need to be able to represent women. I need to hold myself accountable on a whole nother level. So when I see that person, now I know, okay, how do I become that person? Put it in the calendar. And then it's just like a checklist. If you do X, if you do Y, if you do Z, you get to have the prize, which is called your future, which you just created. Just like now I'm saying the metaphor of the person trying to lose weight or build muscle, when they get with the right trainers and the right nutritionists, and they actually follow the guidelines and they go check box over time, guess what they have? They have a healthy, fit body that looks good, that's actually totally transformed. Same thing here. It's no different. Now you're pulling yourself from your future. You're pulling yourself from your present into your future. You do not have to live from your past. Okay, the past is in the past. Every other person lives from the past. That's how we've all been taught. It goes past, present, future. It's in this linear line. Let the average people, let the normal people live like that. Because you know what happens to them? They live from the past and they go into their future and they're like, why would I buy this product when the last 10 didn't work? Why? Because they're comparing and they're being pulled into their past and their past losses and everything else that didn't work. You see? So then they go into their future with it not working. They're already screwed, and boom, they made themselves right. That one didn't work. I can never get ahead. That's only for those other people. Life, I'm a victim. See? So we're severing the ties. Everyone on this call is severing the ties. You no longer live from your past. You're being pulled from your future from your present. So every little item, every little growth con you go to, or workshop, or self-improvement, or something that you've done to educate yourself, every piece of information that I go and read or listen to, even if some of it or most of it's baloney, I'm looking for the one thing. What's the one thing that's going to change my life right here? I'm looking for, boom, I get to check that box, that box, that box. I'm one step closer to having that vision that I see for myself. Everything works. Now nothing doesn't work because I'm disconnected completely from the past. So put on your calendar all of the events that are going to pull you and hold you accountable to the future. So again, if you don't have your 10X Growth Con ticket, get it. February 14, 15, 16. If somebody can put in a link, I don't know. I don't care. By the way, that was a pitch, right? Because I know what's good for you. I know what successful actions are. And I'm not afraid to tell you something that I believe would help you. And if you're out there going and sitting in judgment, that's the one thing I want you to look at. Why can't you do that? Why can't you believe in your products and services? Why can't you be your biggest fan? Why don't you have a product to put somebody on? And if that's your problem and you're sitting here in judgment, then I ask you, maybe you write down, what is something that you could go out and tell a family member about and get excited and want to promote, because you know that product or service would help them. And then I'm going to challenge you one step further and say, if you're not doing that, why? Why are you being so stingy? If you know your products and services help people, why aren't you telling people about them? Why are you holding on to that and keeping it to yourself? Is that not a transgression? to yourself and to them. If you knew you could help somebody and you didn't give them the information that could help them, like, come on, what's wrong with you? Be your own greatest fan and have your products and services that good that they help people. All the realtors out there, why can't you go out and announce or, tell your friends and family or ask for referrals or why not? People would be lucky to work with you. You're incredible, right? Number 9. Will GrowthCon be offered virtually this year? Yes, it will, Kimberly. Yes, it will. Maybe somebody can put the virtual up there as well. Yes. Lakeisha says she can't stand people that withhold information like that. I know, me either. Share it. Share it. You can help people. Okay, so number 9, stay connected to your power terminals. Do not disconnect. Do not disconnect. If you got something good, from this call and you were energized and you liked this call and it helped you, repeat the successful action. What number is that? Repeat the successful action was number 3. Come back here. Do not disconnect from the power terminals in your life. Repeat those successful actions. Stay connected. Don't individuate. You need people on this planet, okay? People have everything you need. People, okay? Stay connected. Don't individuate, okay? The suppressive people on the planet that want to hold you down, what do they want to do? They want to isolate you from power. They want to isolate you from the people that can talk sense into you to keep you strong. They try to break off your friends or your family. They try to disconnect you from power. When you're individual, you're weak, you're vulnerable, you're like, you can get confused and in your head, like abusive relationships. What do? They come in and cut off all of the people around the woman, or, I'm saying the man-woman scenario in this case, but they cut them off. They cut out. They want to get rid of the powerful people and allow you around weak people, if any at all. So don't individuate. If you're wanting to individuate from the group, look at who's in your life that's like gotten you in your head, that wants you to separate because they're winning. Don't let them win. Stay connected to your power terminals. You know who they are. They're the people that are helping you reach heightened levels of success. Stay connected, stay powerful, stay strong, and make a decision to commit to greatness in 2023. Okay? That's all I got for y'all today. I'm so glad y'all stayed on. I appreciate you. I encourage you to go be a leader in your family, for yourself first, for your family, for your community, for the world. Go out, be great. Be great. Have the audacity to be great, a considerable amount above average, above normal. Be great. Greatness begets greatness. You are great. If you don't feel like you are great, someone has made you feel that way. Somebody is committed to the suppression of you. You're a powerful being. You're strong. You're capable. Own it. The world needs you to own that right now. You can influence lives. Greatness can spread like a contagion. Let's spread greatness contagion of greatness. All right. So I will see you all in the new year, next year. This call is open and available every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, this week we ended with mindset. I want to get you in the right frame of mind to start this year right. Pop yourself out of your game of life, make your little tweaks, and go back in and play the game. It's a game. Enjoy it. It's fun. It can be made fun. When you're thinking of your future, make sure you put the fun in there. Okay. Yeah, you're going to get beat around from time to time by the enemies and the barriers. It's okay. You need that. We're playing a game. Don't forget you're playing a game. Okay. And enjoy your loved ones along the ride. Get fortified with them. Hurrah, like boom, we can be in the club celebrating with bloody noses and badgered eyes. But you know what? We're in there like singing and drinking our beer. I don't drink, but you know what I'm saying? The reward is great on the other side. So don't let it kick you in. Have fun. Have fun. All right. But not too much fun. I don't want y'all excessively drinking too much alcohol this new year. You don't need to be doing the drugs. Stay focused. Commit to greatness. Let other people be average and go get drunk and, make a mess of their lives. Those aren't good decisions. Like, let's make the decision to be great. Let's do what others won't do. Let's set the example for greatness and let's win and flourish and prosper. Okay, everybody? Yay! Happy New Year! Woo! I'll see you next year, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you so much.